Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Leader Lab. This is Leadership Shorts, quick thoughts to help you level up your leadership. My name is Chad Wright. I'm the founder of Forward Partners, and I am joined, as always, by my partner in podcasting, Emily Grace Deal. Emily Grace Deal, what are we talking about today?
We have a quote today.
Okay, let's hear it.
Productivity is measured by the importance and the impact of the things we do, not just the number of tasks completed. Said by Israa Nasir. And I think that's the book, Toxic Productivity.
It is. It's from a book I read called Toxic Productivity, and I love this book. It was really, really interesting diving into why we choose to do the things we do and how we are taught early on what productivity is and how it actually becomes a toxic trap that we're all kind of stuck in. And so I love this idea that measuring true productivity is the importance and impact of what we do, not just the number of things we complete. There's a real important distinction in there because I think we were taught early on that more is always better. More is always better. More projects, more tasks, more check boxes. And the interesting part is early in our careers, I think we actually get noticed because of more. The person that does more, the person that does check more tasks is more productive.
Right.
They get noticed for that and they get promoted, right? And it feels good. Every time we get noticed for doing something really well and doing a lot of it, our brain goes, oh, we should do more of that. That felt good. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing more.
Right.
So we keep on that train. We keep saying yes to everything, keep doing more. We kind of build that muscle. And at the end of the day, then we keep getting promoted, but then we land in leadership. And I think that's where things start to get a lot more difficult. Absolutely. Because if we are still operating with the same muscle memory of more is always better, we're going to do more and more and more. And we've talked in several different episodes about the real work of leaders and how often that gets buried under a task list.
Right.
The real things that your investment in you can get buried under a task list. Your investment in your team, your ability to create.
Dreaming about the future.
All of this can get buried in a task list because we're just operating with this idea of more.
Right.
We never stop and we never go, hey, what's important? What's impactful? What is the most impactful thing I can do right now?
Right.
And the higher you climb in leadership, I think the more important this really becomes to start to embrace. But it's kind of that a lot of what we talk about is unwinding.
Yeah, you're unlearning that ability to to check all the tasks and to get things done.
Yes.
Which is also important. Like that's still something you can do, but like it is not what you are now being asked to do. It's not what your new role requires.
Well, and I'm always afraid people are going to hear us say it's okay to be unproductive. We're not really saying that. We're saying true productivity is doing the right things.
Right. We're saying actually these other things are really productive and we view it wrong. Like we look at the space to dream and the calm to like think creatively and to work on bigger projects and to like take time to rest for ourselves. Those things are productive.
Yes.
So we're not saying stop. We're just saying like change your view from like a task being the only way to be productive.
Yes. Is this task actually impactful? Is it actually important? Is it actually doing good? And
somebody else do this task just as well as I can?
We go back to the old quote from Emily Crawford of what is it only I can do? For every leader to ask that, what is it only I can do? That's the important things.
Right.
That's the things that we can't delegate effectively.
That's why you were chosen or why you should see yourself in this position.
Yes.
Like you are here for a reason.
Absolutely. And so I think there's something to this idea of really stopping and looking at what we're saying yes to. And are we just stuck in more mode? And it's ultimately, if we're able to really start to spot that and spot, oh my gosh, I am in more mode, we can make a different choice. And that's hard to do because it's funny how many of these things are, like we talked about, it's what we were taught early on. It's what society teaches us.
Right.
And how much of this work is really unlearning and relearning and understanding that this doesn't work. This eventually leads to burnout.
Right.
If more is the only mode we operate in, then we're eventually going to burn out.
Right. There's no limit to that.
Exactly. It's kind of like earlier when we talked about perfection versus progress, right? If we're in perfection mode, we're going to burn out because we're trying to do something impossible. If we're in more mode and that's the only thing there, we are going to burn out. We've been taught perfection is great. We should seek it. We've been taught more is great because if you're achieving more is always good. But if it's the wrong more, I think that's where things start to really become a challenge.
Right. Well, it's back to that intentionality piece, our favorite word.
Yes.
Next to purpose and rest.
Purpose, rest, intentionality, moving forward, all the things.
I mean, being intentional with it and knowing what is the best for, like, what is the thing that only you can do and what is something that somebody else can do just as well.
Yes. And then being able to delegate that and pass that on. It makes a huge, huge difference. Leaders, let's talk next steps. Measure true productivity, not just productivity. If true productivity, it's all about what's impactful, what's important, what's the most impactful thing you can do right now. I actually put this into practice the other day, and I had an hour open up on my schedule where I had a meeting, it got canceled. I stopped and I asked, what is the most impactful thing I can do? Because normally what I would do is go straight to my inbox, go straight to my email, go straight to Basecamp, see what Emily had lined up for me to do, and start tackling things. But really in that moment, the most impactful thing I could do for anybody was to go for a walk. So I stopped after asking that question and said, you know what? If it is go for a walk, I'm going to go for a walk. And in going for a walk, I did some writing in my head. I worked on a couple of projects, and actually it was really productive, both physically. It was productive for me just being outside. It was actually really, really good. I come back and get a lot done. And so that was the most impactful thing I could do in that moment. That probably wouldn't have landed on my list of productive things if I just thought of it in terms of a task list. So leaders, if you can stop and think about your productivity, is it just about more? Is it just about checking more tasks, getting more done? If it is, you're never going to finish that race. You are always going to be in that mode. And we go back to that episode where we talked about feeling like enough, feeling like our efforts are enough. If you're in the mode of more, it's never, ever going to be enough. So ultimately stop and ask, what's the most productive and important thing I can do right now? It will absolutely make a difference how you navigate every single day and the version of you that shows up, and then what you're capable of creating. Because once you start focusing on important and impactful, you'll find some of the more starts to fade away. Some of those things don't matter near as much, and you can let go of them. All right, if people want to send us emails, they want to send us ideas or questions or quotes like this or books to read, where do they send that to?
lab@forwardpartners.net.
lab@forwardpartners.net. And if they want to find us online, where we are always creating content to give away to help fellow leaders, where do they find that?
@forwardpartner.
@forwardpartner. We're on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Thank you so much for doing this show with me. John, thank you for producing. Other Emily, thanks for bringing the vibes. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing the show. We will see you next time right here in the Leader Lab for Leadership Shorts.